live.
Hi.
Hello there, everybody. I mean, whoever's going to see this in the future. And there are some people joining in. Welcome to another Facebook Live with us, Crystal Crawford.
Crystal Crawford, Miss Kushbu Shaw. Did I get that right?
Yes, it's correct. We're Talk to the Entities facilitators. And this is, I mean, a lot of y'all have seen a bunch of lives, and this is like the last in the series. So leading up to the summit that's coming up now, which is the annual facilitators and the turbo advanced classes, which are coming up with Shannon. We wanted to talk about the gift of being a TTT facilitator. So,
can I ask you first?
Okay, good. Yes, you
Okay.
can.
Okay. So,
and we'll be joined by Amy Shine soon, hopefully. I don't know where she's at. Anyways.
Yes. Okay. So, why did you choose to become a Talk to the Entities facilitator?
So I became I started doing Access a while before I actually chose to become a Talk to the Entities facilitator. It was this period where things weren't moving. And even when I knew I'm aware of entities, but I just wasn't ready to dive into the advanced and the facilitator.
Yeah.
Like big thing is enough. I don't want but that actually started showing up as just like this stagnation of everything in my life, and also just this general sort of like this it was like growing, and then and I was like, what's going on? And of course, I wasn't paying attention to one of my capacities, which was to talk to entities, and I am in India, and we have a lot of entities here.
You do. So I can perceive them from here.
Exactly. So it was high time for me to sort of like step into this capacity so that I have more ease.
Yeah.
And so that's how I finally chose it. I mean, by resisting it for a while.
Oh yeah, I resisted it too.
Yeah. But I chose it. And I'm glad that I did.
So what's changed? Like what has being an entity facilitator changed for you?
It's brighter. It's moving. It's easier. I have better sleep. It's just so much easier to be in this world. And I know I mentioned this before as well, like we're in India, but you have to know, like some of our cultures, especially India, like there is a lot of entity activity, and it is an entity sort of like we've not disregarded it, but we've gone in the other direction of unconsciousness with it. So there's a lot of stuff there, and as you sort of move into if you're going to go in this journey of consciousness, you have to finally look at this and read into it. And there's a reason why I chose to be here. So brighter, lighter, easier, movement, and just more money as well.
Bonus.
Yes.
Okay, so then what unexpected gift did you get from being an entity facilitator that you just never would have imagined when you first chose it?
I wish I could tell you, like, this is what I got, like this little thing that was
what,
like
10 things did you get?
This one gift.
Only one.
Or this one flight at this one hotel room that got booked with. Like, I wish it was just this one thing that I could tell you, this is the unexpected gift that I got. But the unexpected gift is having more of me. Like, and the more of you, like the joy of just being here and knowing that you're different and just like not being at the effect of what you know, but actually affecting everything. So that was the unexpected gift. Like it wasn't just, it's not about those little trinkets, and of course, I love that. How does it get better than that? But like to not be depressed, to actually look at things and be able to change energies and entities at just like in 2 minutes. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. In recently, because of COVID and everything, there was a lot of things happening in India, as all over the world, and there were a lot of people dying, and dying like out of suffocation, like literally because no oxygen. And so there was a lot of trauma in that. There's a lot of PTSD. And then there were all these entities that a bunch of us were aware of that were in PTSD. Now, if I didn't have the tools and I was so aware, I honestly would have thought I have COVID or what is going on. But and I was like, wait, hold on, I know I don't. All right, so what is this? And then suddenly I was like, oh my god, it's these entities, these people who died, who don't know how to move on, and etc etc etc. And there was like literally post-traumatic stress disorder from the way they died. And so it took like what, 2 days of just being fully present with it, clearing, doing the business hours, and everything changed. Like
That's so wild.
wasn't comfortable at all. And all of us had this. Like most of the talk to the entities facilitators in India were sort of experiencing this weird, like, what is going on? And thank God we have these tools. Otherwise, this would have been a very different world for us right now. It would not be ease, joy, glory. It would be trauma.
Pain, suffering, and glory.
So, yeah.
Cool.
That's the unexpected, like, one of the unexpected gifts
of the 82 billion unexpected. Yeah. Of like, why did I wait 82 billion years to do this?
That too.
Yeah.
Well, but I'm here, and you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really glad.
Okay, cool, awesome. I'm going to ask you now.
Okay.
So, why did you choose to become a Talk to the Entities facilitator?
Well, I resisted it for as long as I could.
I know that.
I had gone to a couple of Shannon's other classes. I think it was a 3-day body class, and I had taken, I know the primary thing. I had taken the business of succeeding from her. And one of the things she just kept nailing me on was receiving. And, in that class, it was a 10-month business coaching facilitation thing. And, there was all kinds of people. So there was the people that were really, really strong in like being, but not so strong in doing. Well, I was one of the ones that was really strong in the doing, but not so strong in the being and receiving. And so that just kind of kept coming up in our conversations. And so she's like, you, Crystal Crawford, need to master receiving. And I was like, how does one master receiving?
What do I do?
So I just I did what you do when I have no idea. And I just started asking the universe to show me. And the thing that just kept popping up in my world was talk to the entities. I kept seeing that there was a facilitator training coming in like 6 months, and it kept like punching me in the side of the face, literally. Like it was just wouldn't leave me alone. And so I got right away that this was the change I'd been asking for, showing up in a really different way. And so I fought it, just like you do. You just fight that. And until like almost 2 months before, and at that point we were still traveling, so I had to make a choice about travel, and I like had to shit or get off the pot. So I chose it, and I was just really uncomfortable. And then but that was really my why. That was my why. It's like I wanted to master receiving, and the thing that just kept showing up in my world was talk to the entities, which really, really, really I did not get it until like I was almost all the way through like all the classes, and there was quite a few prerequisites to go through to become a specialty facilitator. So it took me like a lot of those classes to finally go, oh, like literally you cannot function with the unseen world unless you're being and knowing, perceiving and receiving. Like it's the most strengthening class that I've ever experienced in all of those things. So that's why I did it. It just kept like pinning me to the ground and going, take this class. And so I finally gave in.
Yeah, I think, if you just, that's how it will, like it's, how the universe first gives you signs like feather touch, and you ignore it, and then Yeah, and then finally you just find like a 2x4 across.
I needed a 2x4 badly. I got 2x4s across the face for months. Yeah.
Awesome. So, what has being a TTTE CF changed for you?
Just, I mean, literally everything. When I say that like it's the best class that I've ever taken or facilitated on being, knowing, perceiving, and receiving, I mean it. Like for me, I had a big demand in my world to not just master receiving, but to actually bring out of theory question, choice, possibility, and contribution. Like we talk about these elements of creation in foundation, and for the most part, they stay kind of theoretical, or we use them, but we don't necessarily acknowledge we're using them, but they're kind of like, oh yeah, those are the elements of creation. Well, I kept, oh yeah-ing these elements and these being, knowing, perceiving, and receiving, the higher harmonics of all that, as it kept sort of remaining theoretical in my world, even though I knew I was functioning from some of it. So I had a big ask for those things to become like a substantial thing in my work, like that I could really function from. And these classes are the greatest gift to getting access to being and knowing and perceiving and receiving than anything else I've ever taken or facilitated. So I would say that that's probably a response to both the questions combined. Is like that for me was a really unexpected gift. Like I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't get how you'd have to like perceive things that were not seen with your eyeballs, and you'd have to receive them. And I didn't get how transformative that would be, to truly like know and really, and the thing is like, it's a constant practice. It's like we facilitate these classes, but it's also this personal practice of perceiving, and it's a constant practice. Like even yesterday, I love your story about working with the entities with PTSD. It's like that wouldn't have occurred to me either. Yesterday, I had the most intense day I've had in a really long time, and I finally took myself out of the house, and I was in the car just like being with everything, and the word devolved came across my path, and it like got so much lighter, and I was like, oh my God, the amount of awareness I've had of devolved beings has been so intense, but I hadn't till that moment like recognized it. And so it's a constant like gift to get how my awareness works and what I become aware of, and then how that affects me, and then what I can do to change it, So yeah. Oh my goodness.
It does get better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing, like you said, it really pushes you to go beyond your five senses. Like it really, like you have to step into the subtler awarenesses, the perceiving, knowing, being, and receiving. And the side effect of that was you have to trust yourself. Like, like I had to really, like you really have to trust yourself. Like for me to even think I'm aware of, not even think, but to trust my awareness that I'm actually aware of entities who have post-traumatic stress disorder. Let alone trying to sort of do this.
You didn't get the memo at birth that was the capacity you had, They're like, by the way, there's gonna be these things that crop up.
and like, oh my God, just you have to trust yourself. Like you have to trust what you know, however weird it may seem. And then with these tools, you see the results very quickly. Like you do, so you're like, oh, maybe I wasn't wrong all this while. Maybe I mean, so that trusting yourself and really like stepping out of doubting and stepping into perceiving, knowing, being, and receiving. Yeah. Bringing that up. Yeah.
And I think the other gift for me that was really unexpected is just how, I guess how rich I walk around feeling. And I don't mean like rich from a monetary point of view, although that's just gotten better and better. It's like nourished. I didn't expect to feel so nourished all the time. Like since taking beings of light and like really cultivating that communion with and the downloading and all of the being with, I just, most of the time I slip in and out of it occasionally, but for the most part, like I walk around and I just feel like this plant that's just like nestled in, the best soil ever. It just coursing through my veins, like I was the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow. Yeah. I remember that I was talking to somebody and they're like, what? Like, why are you doing? Like, why did you go to like Paris all the way? Like, this is like the first one that I did 2-3 years back. And to do like talk to the entities. And I was like, imagine walking around the world knowing that you are taken care of, like you're
Yeah.
not alone ever. I mean, you're taken care of. Um, I, you have, and that is the gift as well. Like you are taken care of, and if you just sift, like you have the tools to sift through that early, we say it's a build up, like because you've been ignoring entities for so long, so you have to deal with some of those yucky, annoying, but like as soon as you sort of move out of that and like ah just like
Mm.
just just 2 steps beyond that and you're just like, oh my god,
Mm.
like was I resisting this space, like
I think I've discovered, and here's another unexpected gift. I think I've discovered that I resist the good stuff the fastest.
yeah, I think we should like we're changing that now.
I
No problem.
know. I'm gonna get my Papa Gala insurance poison me on.
Ah,
Oh my god.
awesome.
And so Stacy's
Anything
asking
else
what class we are talking about. We're talking about Talk to the Entities, which is what this group is. It's a class I'm facilitating one in July 1st through the 4th. Kushba, I don't know if you have any classes on, but there's facilitators all over the world. And we also have a facilitator training coming up. So for those of you guys that are certified facilitators already and you want to add this to your life, this is an invitation, but also to you guys that are watching. I saw Elaine said this is one of the classes that she's been resisting more than any other class, which is what I did. Turns out it's the class that has changed kind of the most for me fundamentally, and that's usually what I resist. So
yeah,
how does it get better?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we'll put in more links or something in the chat for anyone who wants to know more about what we're talking about, because this is also simultaneously playing on Shannon's public profile.
Oh,
They may
cool.
not
Awesome.
talk to the entities group, so I'll do that. I'll put in some links for you all to go check out. Talk to the entities. It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's like amazing. So all you have to do when looking at any choice, this one or any, is just ask, will my life be greater in 5 years if I choose it? And if you get yes, then, and you follow your yeses, that's what creates a greater life in 5 years.
Yeah, like however weird and however like
could be the weirdest path ever in life and turn out to be the greatest gift. So cool.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Well, thanks for chatting with me, and thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys somewhere around in the world.
Bye.
Bye.